So, you've heard about the Australia employer-sponsored visa, the golden ticket that lets you live, work, and sometimes even drag your entire family halfway across the world to join you. Sounds simple, right? A boss in Australia says, "Come work for me." You pack your bags, and in a few weeks, you're on your way to Sydney. Well, not so fast. The actual timeline of an employer-sponsored visa in this year is more like waiting for a delayed flight. You know it's going to happen eventually. But no one tells you if you should grab a quick coffee or settle in with a three-course meal. In this video, we're breaking down how long this visa really takes in 2025. Not just the official, "Oh, it'll take a few months" answer you'll find on government websites, but the real-world version. Why timelines matter. First, let's be honest. When it comes to visas, time is money. For you, it's the difference between starting your new Aussie life in 6 months or still answering your aunt's awkward questions a year later. For employers, it's even worse. They've got a job they can't fill, a business that's running short on staff, and sometimes they're literally begging immigration to let you come yesterday. So the timeline is not just a number. It's about jobs, families, and life plans sitting in limbo. Let's start with what the Australian government says in 2025. The Department of Home Affairs publishes average processing times. For the 482 Skills in Demand visa, they currently say, Core Skills stream takes about 3 to 5 months. Specialist Skills stream takes about 19 to 85 days. And Labour Agreement stream takes about 4 to 5 months. For the Employer Nomination Scheme, Subclass 186, the direct entry stream takes about 12 to 18 months, and the transition stream takes around 14 to 18 months. These are median times. Like when a restaurant says, average wait is 20 minutes, but you end up starving outside for 45. The reality check. In practice, these timelines are not giving anyone the smooth ride they hoped for. Why? Because we're in the middle of Australia's immigration shakeup. More applications are flowing in thanks to worker shortages across health, construction, and tech, and the Department of Home Affairs is juggling reforms and security checks, meaning the timeline often drags. Also, employers sometimes mess up the nomination paperwork, which sets everything back. So, while the website says 3 months, in reality, some people are waiting 4 or 5. And for the 186 permanent visa, over a year is not unheard of. The step-by-step timeline breakdown. Let's actually walk through the process. Not just the government's shiny numbers, but what really happens at each stage. Step 1. Employer nomination. Before you even touch your own visa application, your employer has to lodge their nomination. This is basically them saying, yes, I have a real job. Yes, I've advertised it. And no, I'm not inventing a position just to bring my cousin in. If your employer is experienced, this can take maybe a week or 2 to prepare, and if it's their first time, expect a month of back and forth with lawyers. Processing at the department is anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months, and already the clock is ticking. Step 2. Your visa application. Once the nomination is approved or lodged, you can apply at the same time. You send in your side of things. That means health checks, police checks, English tests, work experience documents, and different scans of your passport. This step is where people lose time. If your police check comes late, or your health exam throws up something weird, it delays everything. Step 3. Department processing. Now, your application sits with the Department of Home Affairs. Some cases sail through. Others sit at the bottom of someone's desk because one small detail wasn't clear. In 2025, the department has sped up some priority areas like healthcare and teaching. Nurses and doctors can sometimes get processed in just a few weeks. But if you're not in a priority job, prepare to wait a few months. What speeds things up? Everyone wants the secret sauce to make visas faster. Unfortunately, there's no VIP fast lane at immigration, but here are real things that help. Being in a priority occupation. Health and teaching are golden right now. If you're a nurse, you'll get processed faster than a software engineer. Perfect paperwork. If you upload everything neatly, clearly, and with no mistakes, your file won't bounce back and forth. Employer reputation. A company that sponsors often gets smoother runs than a cafe owner applying for the first time. Location matters. Applying from inside Australia sometimes moves quicker, especially if you're already on a temporary visa. What slows things down? On the flip side, your timeline can stretch out for all sorts of reasons. Maybe you forgot a key document like your police certificate, which easily eats up weeks. Health checks can also slow things down, even if it's something small that needs a second look. If your visa is tied to a labor agreement, those always move more slowly since they involve extra back and forth between the employer and the government. And then there's the simplest reason of all: department backlogs. Sometimes it's not about you at all. It's just the system crawling along under the weight of too many applications. So, when your mate says, "Oh, my visa only took 2 months," don't believe that's the norm. For every quick success story, there are dozens of people twiddling their thumbs for half a year. Temporary versus permanent visas. One big thing people misunderstand is the difference between temporary and permanent timelines. Temporary 482 visa is usually quicker. Think of it as a rental car. They'll give it to you sooner, but it's not forever. Permanent 186 visa takes longer because they're basically giving you the keys to the house. They check more, double-check more, and sometimes triple-check. So if you need to get to Australia quickly, you're better off going temporary first, then applying for permanent later. It's like moving into a share house before buying your own place. Also, adding a spouse and kids can stretch timelines, mostly because of the extra documents. Each family member needs health checks and police checks. If even one person's paperwork is delayed, the whole application stalls. Imagine it like boarding a plane. The gate doesn't close until everyone in your group is scanned through. If your partner forgot their passport, guess what? No one flies. The 2025 twist. Here's the unique part of this year. The government is under pressure to process visas faster. Businesses are shouting about worker shortages, and the media is grilling the government about delays. So, while some visas are dragging, certain sectors are seeing lightning approvals. For example, early this year, some nurses reported visas granted in under 3 weeks. Meanwhile, IT professionals are waiting 4 months. Same system, different outcomes. It's almost like Australia is running an express checkout line for people they desperately need, while the rest wait behind someone buying 200 items. Let's not forget what waiting means for real people. Some applicants can't resign from their current job because they don't know when the visa will come through. Families don't know when to pull kids out of school, and employers can't plan projects because they don't know when their staff will arrive. It's like planning a wedding when the venue refuses to give you a date. You're just stuck in limbo. So, the employer-sponsored visa is a lifesaver for businesses and a golden ticket for skilled workers. But the timeline is not as shiny as the brochure makes it sound. But hey, once you finally get it, you'll look back and laugh. Or maybe cry. Probably both.